I connected up with Keith and Terry Sherwood, his partner. They had an audio repair shop. I'd just gotten out of college in '72. I connected up with them. They were looking for another engineer technician to work there. But Keith's end goal wasn't just to own an audio repair shop. He really wanted to do something, build something, form a company that became larger. And I think that's when Keith kind of got the bug on, well, gee, maybe we can make some products for the audio industry, making these sound effects, but accessible for a musician. The idea was for a musician to have some of the same effects that they would have in a studio. If you look at our schematics, a lot of the parts of the design aren't classic textbook schematics. And for a lot of those novel and trick circuits, I do have to credit Keith. He was extremely gifted in coming up with schematic answers or circuitry answers to what you want to do in a way that's different than what would be the norm. So we'd go out and we'd get parts that maybe you'd never see in a pedal effect in the past. The initial boxes we bought were aluminum from a company called Bud Willoughby, called Bud boxes, so they were sturdy. They all had metal shaft pots. They all used a really hard Bakelite knob on them, things that would hold up well. We wanted a catchy name for the company that would kind of stand out. Between Keith and Terry and I, when I was sitting in the back of Audio Services after we closed, and we were just tossing around letters, like in the MXR, it sounded warm, and it sounded simple. So initially we'd pick palette script for it because we thought it looked classy. We didn't have a lot of money, so the Audio Services repair shop was kind of funding this whole operation. Keith and Terry were renting the lower half of the house here, and they had use of the basement, so we set up a little production facility in the basement of the house. It wasn't just assembly. I mean, we were actually with a drill press, drilling the holes in the boxes and everything. It was raw material we bought, and we actually etched the boards here. We painted and silk screened the outside boxes and everything here also. You lose track of time. You'd come out of the basement and realize, oh, the sun's rising already. So, I mean, pretty busy time, but it was a lot of fun. We made a couple of each pedal, and we put them in the display case at Audio Services. A guy that called on us, he was really interested in the pedals and everything. His name was Mike Lycona, and he said, if you let me take, 10 of them or a dozen of them, I'll sell them and then bring you back the money, then you can make more. He came back, gave us some money, we made more pedals. It's like he worked his way down New York State. He had an old Cougar, and he filled the back truck of it with pedals, and he took them and sold them out of the back of his car. And we eventually reached the point where we said, well, this has gone beyond a garage operation, and that's when we moved to 277 North Goodman Street, and that was 1974. We stayed there until about 1977. And then we moved to 247 North Goodman. We went from initially a little Ford van that we used to pick up and deliver everything to much larger trucks and things like that. Everything was local, and other than print ads, we did just about everything in-house. We wanted to be in charge of our own destiny. More and more people we hired that came in through production or for quality control or whatever, kind of were musicians. It was probably a close group of people there. On a personal note, on people's birthdays, we made a big deal out of that. We'd always buy an ice cream cake and 24 and enough for everybody of Molson's. We did it at the end of the day, but it was Molson's and ice cream cake, and that was what you got on your birthday. When MXR was in its later stages, and people were saying, well, the world's changing, and you'll never go back to those again. It's like, I played old Les Pauls, I played new Les Pauls, I played Tellys, I played Strats. I'm not a person that makes guitars, or makes instruments themselves. But to me, I guess I looked at those things like our pedals. They're tools, and the ones that people remember and stay for almost generations, maybe serve the basic functions and do it in a good way and hold up for a long time. They persevered, and even as we went out of business and through a business cycle, Dunlop picked up on them, and then that continues on, and it's fulfilling to know that you're part of the starting of that.